Etihad Stadium. We're just covering off the big stuff
We've
here.
got to go for another ad
And
break.
I'll tell you right
halfway
now,
through the story,
Sydney
Snorkel.
and Freo.
What happens when you do a 3-hour preview?
Final. And we're ready to go here. Now, there's been lots of talk about the surface.
How long ago was that?
That was a couple of weeks ago.
What?
Wow.
Bill just snuck in. And what we need to do, Gary, is find out what we're dealing
I don't
with.
believe that.
I'm telling you, out of here.
It's true, Gary.
All right, time now on Triple M Footy. Yes, Purple's trying to just give us a little message. I think the question was, how much are you holding? And but we need. But Gary, I'm telling
That's
you
going
now.
into poor.
I'm
it's not.
telling
No,
you
it's not.
now.
It's a private conversation.
That is what happened,
Oh, no.
and it's unravelled, that whole setup. So now we need to do this, hose.
That is poor.
Poor.
Thank you, host. I'm a bit shocked, to be honest, but I'll regroup.
There's nipsying going on everywhere.
I've got a few paws. First of all, these are honourable mentions at the moment.
So they one paw?
Pardon?
Honourable mention.
Honourable mentions.
Gets you one paw.
The iCloud. If you're going to stick stuff up in your iCloud,
Yep.
up in the iCloud, Jim, you do so with an expectation they're not going to lob on the internet.
Yes,
don't you?
I agree.
Especially if you're chucking your nude work up
I
there.
know.
So get yourself sorted out, whoever's responsible for that. Poor old Jennifer Lawrence,
Yeah.
taking a couple of at-home selfies.
To a man.
Yeah.
Or whoever.
No, it was. It was to a man.
Was
Nothing
it?
wrong with that.
Nothing wrong with that, Jim.
Don't expect it to
Don't
suddenly be
expect-
in the Daily Telegraph.
Come on, that's
What is
that's
that?
poor. Well, we're on Apple. I'm flipping through the paper on the flight up. I'm seeing rumoured new iPhone 6.
Yes.
Jim. We like to be at the cutting edge.
Right at the cutting
Our
edge.
men that provide us with them, who are they again?
Yeah, they do it at the very basic minimum cost.
Nothing. They're suggesting $1,000 for
Oh,
a new
come
iPhone
on.
6.
Can't
Perks.
be.
That's too much for an iPhone. Red Foo.
The Foo.
Foo
What's he
gets a
going
mention.
for?
Why does
He got
Foo
glass.
go in?
Yeah, he
What's
got,
he
he
done?
got glass.
Well, Foo
He got
is
glass.
a clubber and copped a stray bottle. And it got a small nick in the back of the melon, which is not good, Jim.
No, it's not good.
I'm not sure it's as bad as the Foo's making out. He's saying he now goes to a nightclub and feels like a Navy SEAL,
Oh,
Oh,
waiting to cop one.
is he?
come on.
Come on, Foo.
Come on,
He's
Foo.
not that big, is he?
Just get in there and just relax.
He did cop a beer bottle to the head.
Well, so what?
So what?
So, no, I said that. I said that wasn't good, but don't like him to burn a Navy SEAL warrior.
I don't think he takes anything too seriously.
Gail Monfils,
Yes,
Yep.
deserves it.
Yeah, he does.
2 match points against Federer he had,
Yep.
and then just once that was over, he tanked.
Mm.
I'm saying he tanked. There,
Tanked.
I'm saying it.
Tanked or choked?
He tanked. He just threw it in. He didn't want it. He wasn't up for the fight.
Yep.
So Gael Monfils is a weird looking unit himself, and drinks Coca-Cola during the change of ends, which I quite like. Spud gets in there for a mention.
Why?
I'm at the NAB Rising Star, one of the most prestigious awards in footy. There's about, I don't know, 9 people who vote.
Yes.
Goes right down to the wire. It's a
Does.
one vote difference. You know who cast the part, who ensured that his votes were read out last?
Who?
Spud Regis.
Oh, no.
That can't be a paw.
Poor from you.
Why is
That's
it
a bit
poor?
of. That's a bit of. I want this about me, Spud.
Look at
No,
me.
I
I'm the
heard
man
that
with
and led
the-
back to
I
me
will
too.
cast the votes that will determine the NAB Rising Star. Me.
That's fair enough. But
Whole
I don't
room
think it
hanging
should
on
be a
Spud.
paw.
You did, Spud.
No, Spud, you did.
It bled back to me that happened, Spud.
And,
No,
and the
it is.
Bontempelli camp is not happy with
Yeah,
They
that.
not
shuffled
happy.
the cards and mine had to come out
Bontempelli not happy.
last.
This is Bontempelli.
We duked last night for putting on a boy.
Yep.
So that's
what's
on the
going
back
on
of
there?
getting a bloke to wheel his trolley. I forgot
it.
that
That's
last
right, you
night.
forgot that.
They got a guy especially to wheel his suitcase for him. A personal
What?
suitcase wheeler. You weren't here when that happened.
No.
I did
So
that.
we got off the plane, and there was a guy standing there, and Duke just wheels his trolley up and lets it go, and the guy in a hat and a suit.
Driver.
In the car, the driver.
And
So
Spud,
driver,
it
yeah.
was a hand luggage size. It wasn't even a big suitcase. It was
that
one that was
after
on the
Friday
plane.
night game?
Yeah.
Yeah.
He
And gloves.
is kidding
Gloves.
himself.
And gloves.
Gloves at Geelong.
And
He's
gloves
a
and a
ruckman
chopper
from the
to
Bulldogs.
the Witten Oval.
That's right.
So everything's gone pear-shaped for the Duke.
He's a ruckman
chopper,
from the Bulldogs.
the Whitney.
Like,
No,
he's
he's lost
just
it. He's lost
got
it.
ahead of
Oh,
himself.
South Adelaide prior to that.
He's lost
Come
it.
on, Duke.
Melbourne players on Mad Monday. Melbourne's Mad Monday in general. Thought it was funny to dress up as Rolf Harris and a schoolgirl.
Yep.
Hui, that's not sure.
Was it 2 paws, I would have thought.
And Chris Dawes dressed up as Chip Frawley in a Geelong jumper with a Chip Frawley face. I don't know whether I'd be laughing at that. Anyway, they get it. Here we go, officially.
Oh,
Poor Australia, Aussie Boomers, the basketball
Yes.
side, get a single paw.
they deserve it.
Okay, so they tanked Jim, and they now won't have to face the American team on their way through, hopefully to a medal. But we don't tank in this
Not
country.
when you're wearing our national colours, Gary.
No, the Demons didn't tank, and nor should the Australian Boomers.
Oh, Joey Ingles,
You front up. You
Matty
say,
Dellavedova.
hey, bring the Yanks on.
That's it.
Do a miracle on ice 'em.
I agree with that,
Poor
but sensible.
Daniel Andrews. Dan Andrews.
I like the political
Dan,
flavour
the
this
man,
segment's
the
got.
member of the leader of the opposition party.
He'll be listening too.
3 months ago, Jeff Shaw, Dan Andrews couldn't get him
No,
out
tried to
quick
get him.
enough.
Yep.
Could he? He could not
Yep.
move him out. He'd had enough of him. He's
Yep.
disgraced the
That's
party.
true.
Yep.
Now, for political expediency and for what does
Well, when
suits him
Dennis
best,
Napthine then puts it up
the
for
Nap says, right,
a
well,
vote
now's
of
our,
no.
we'll get rid of him. Now, Daniel
Whole
Andrews, now
party.
you do what you said you were going to do 3 months ago, and we'll out him. No.
Whole party
Dan
vote
just
for
turned around and said, we're not doing that because
him. And it is
doesn't
Dan
suit
now
him.
too. Must be known as Dan.
So Dan Andrews.
You
And
go.
poor.
Oh.
Now, people will think this is a Triple M versus 3AW thing. They'll think it's personal. It's not, because the man involved who's broken, I use that term loosely, put this story out there is a good lad and a good man. And but to go and leak an All-Australian team because you've somehow come across the All-Australian team, that ain't a great get. Let me give you the tip right now. That's not breaking a big story, and that's not going to further your credentials as a newsbreaker. That's just raining on the parade of AFL footballers on Tuesday and trying to make a big fuss out of it. And yeah, there's no embargo on it, all that sort of stuff, but it is just... if you reckon that's good news breaking, then, and again, this is not a personal thing, because I said we like the young man that did this, but that is not on. And that is poor.
Well, a triple. He cops a triple.
Well, of course he does, Jim.
Not in the spirit of what we do, Gary.
I'm not going to drop 8 Australian blokes out over the last 2 weeks. Why would you want to do that? Tuesday night, they roll in there, the team gets announced, everyone
it.
makes a big fuss about them. It's a big part of the finals week, and good on you. Now, I know the captain. Oh, well, good on you. Well done.